Our experts on your stocks, we have Kunal Bothra as well as Funny Shekhar, who join in to answer all the queries sent in by our viewers. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thanks much for joining in. First up, we have a caller who wants to talk about SBI. Veena Dwivedi calls in from Mumbai. Hi, Veena.
Hello.
Hi, what's your question?
I just wanted to ask whether right now, as the SBI has split it out, I should hold or I should sell out.
Are you a long-term investor otherwise, normally?
No, not more than 3 months. Like, I won't like to wait for more than 3 months.
Okay, and have you recently bought it, the stock?
Yeah, it was, I think so, 2 weeks ago it was.
Okay. Kunal, let me come to you first on this, since her time horizon is extremely short, just 3 months. She's making a bit of a loss. What's your call? Could she at least recover her price in the next 3 months? And on the upside, what's your target?
I think going by the split price, I think the purchase price would come to around 294, and the current price is around 307, 308. So I think by my calculation, I think she's making some bit of profit. But I think the time horizon is 3 months, which I think could be a factor of limitation for SBI's potential. Because the PSU banks have just about started to manage to rise in the last 2 months. So I think there could be a fair chance that the investor may stand to gain a little bit more if she extends her time horizon to say at least a year or so, because I think the PSU banks are just about unleashing their potential, and I think if you give them a good enough time, I think that could be a chance where the investor may stand to gain a lot of profits there. But I think if it's a short-term horizon and limiting the discussion to 1 to 3 months, I think this is a good enough level. Probably 310 to 312 is a good enough level where the investor can look to book profits over here.
All right, then that's the view coming in on SBI. But let's pull up Ranbaxy again for you. That stock, in fact, has taken off in the last few minutes. Let's pull up Ranbaxy before we get to Funny and ask him his views on SBI. Take a look at that stock. It's moving higher on good volumes. That's because of the news flow. The Gujarat High Court has approved Ranbaxy's merger with Sun Pharma. And in fact, the merger is effective post the nods from Punjab and Haryana High Court, the CCI, as well as the FIPB. So both those two stocks moving towards the high point of the day. Sun Pharma as well should come up for you. Both those two stocks are moving higher. But Funny, we're talking about SBI. What's your view on it?
Well, 3 months is a very, very short time period. However, if she intends to stretch her time horizon beyond that, then SBI is a must in your portfolio, considering the fact that there are signs of turnaround in the economy, and SBI is a perfect proxy to that. So SBI is among all the PSU banks, it is the only bank that deserves a place in your core portfolio. I think it will be a good idea if she holds on rather than trading out of that, unless she absolutely has other better investment ideas. If she holds on for a 1 year perspective or maybe more, then I am looking at a price closer to 350 rupees.
Okay, Veena, that's the advice for you. In fact, both our experts feel that you need to extend your time horizon a tad bit to actually gain the full benefit of your investment in SBI. Up next, Savita Jain calls in from Jaipur, and I think she has a query on Punj Lloyd. Hi, Savita. Savita, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, what's your question?
Yes, ma'am. मेरे पास पुंज लॉयड है मैम 54 की रेट पे 1000.
ठीक है, कब खरीदा आपने?
तो ये मैम मेरे को हो गया साल भर से ज्यादा.
ओके, और अब आपका सवाल क्या है?
मैं क्या करूं मैम, अब ये 40 से ऊपर तो बढ़ ही नहीं रहा.
ओके, और
40 तक आता है फिर नीचे आ जाता है.
आपको अगर एडवाइस दी जाए लंबे समय तक होल्ड करने की, तो आप होल्ड कर सकते हैं. आपको अभी फिलहाल फंड्स की जरूरत है?
नहीं, फंड की जरूरत नहीं है, पर 1 साल तक होल्ड कर सकती हूँ, उसके बाद तो नहीं कर सकती मैं.
Okay, Funny, she is actually quite downbeat on the stock, saying that she's never seen that price since she bought it about a year ago. Would you advise her to remain invested, or do you think there's another idea where she could cover up this gap?
Well, this one has tested investors' patience, and she has been lucky to get it at 54 just a year back. You have lots of investors who got in 2007-8 at much elevated prices. But coming back to this case, I guess even in a 1 year time frame, it will be very difficult for Punj Lloyd to get back to her buying price. For the simple reason that order book for Punj Lloyd is simply not improving, balance sheet still continues to be challenging, and you have all the attendant issues with infrastructure. So my advice to her would be to book these losses and then get into maybe a private bank like an Axis Bank or an ICICI Bank. And the chances of recovering those losses over the next 1 year are much brighter if she gets into a private bank rather than if she sticks to Punj Lloyd.
All right, then get into a private bank rather than stick with something like a Punj Lloyd. And Axis Bank, in fact, is a stock, Sumera, that I was looking at early morning. I was trying to gauge what it's done in the last 15 years odd. But if you want that particular data point, then Sumera does a show, money, money, money. You can catch it over there as well. The stock was not even in double digits just 15 years ago. But let me get in. Kunal, what's your view on Punj Lloyd?
Yeah, I think if the time horizon is 1 year, and I think looking at the chart patterns, Punj Lloyd generally has a tendency to go into a multi-year consolidation. So I think if the investor is looking to probably reduce her losses to an extent, I think there could be a chance where she can hold. You may probably get a level of 43, 44, where you can reduce your loss to a large extent, and then probably look to shift. Looking at kind of sectors or stocks which may come up at that stage. But I think if you're looking at the opportunity cost, I think it makes sense now to shift to a large cap stock. Probably I think ICICI Bank is one of the good stocks in terms of technicals in the private banking space. So I think I would go with ICICI Bank if I have to shift from Punj Lloyd at this point.
Mr. Rastogi calls us from Lucknow, and he has some investments in Adani Power. Hi, Mr. Rastogi.
Yes.
How can we help you, sir?
Sir, I have purchased Adani Power 125 shares at original price of ₹100.
Okay.
And I have also Fortis Healthcare 50 shares.
Okay.
At the rate of ₹160.
160. 100 shares of that as well.
50 shares.
50 shares.
And 200 shares of Dena Bank at the rate of ₹80.
Okay, at 80. How many shares have you picked up of Dena Bank?
Yes, 200.
200.
What should I do in all the three?
Mr. Rastogi, if I'm right, your Dena Bank position is actually trading with a card because you bought it at 80 rupees. Let's pull up Fortis Healthcare as well. That stock as well has not given you any returns, I think. Or even if you pull up your other pick, Adani Power, I think you bought it at roughly around 100 rupees. So it's not been too good. But Mr. Rastogi, let's try to help you out over here. Are you a long-term investor or a short-term investor? Because you're made.
I am long term.
And how long ago have you bought these shares? You would have already been holding it for some time.
Actually, Dena Bank I am holding for the last 4 to 5 years.
Oh no. Okay.
Fortis Healthcare also 2-3 years.
Okay.
And all are more than 3 years.
Okay, Mr. Rastogi, maybe your stock selection as well has kind of let you down, but we've got a couple of experts with us, so they're going to help you out. They're going to tell you whether you should book your losses or maybe something better for you. So, Pani, let me come to you. He's given us 3 stocks, making losses on all 3 of them. He's waited for 4 years on some of them, and he wants to know whether he's going to make any money whatsoever. If he should book losses, what should he get into?
I think he can continue to stay invested in Dena Bank and Fortis. On Adani, I have second thoughts because it is, at the end of the day, a fixed return business, a regulated ROE business, more or less, on a basket basis. Adani has a stated ambition of becoming the largest private power producer, and to that extent, they are making the right moves. Having said that, valuations even at these levels seem to be pretty expensive, considering the fact that it will take some time for the operational assets to start contributing meaningfully to profits, which will take the ROEs to meaningful levels. So I think he can book his losses in Adani Power, and maybe I stand with my previous advice of getting into a private bank like an Axis or an ICICI. He can stay invested in Fortis and Dena Bank because I see over a period of time there is a bright chance of him recovering his losses out there.
All right, Mr. Rastogi, I hope you took down notes. That's a lot of advice coming in from Funny. But let's welcome our next caller as well. Rahul Maheshwari is on the line with us from Jaipur. Hi, Rahul.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, what's your question?
My question is, I've got 100 shares on different rates at the average price is around 475 Tata Steel.
Okay.
So I'm willing to wait till 1 year. That means, what will be the best price where I should exit from this stock?
Okay, did you buy, how recently have you been buying this stock?
Around, I'm not a day trader, but as and when I get a chance to buy on a lower price, I buy the shares.
Okay, Kunal, let me come to you on this because through the day there's been a lot of fundamental analysis on Tata Steel. But for someone who's, neither here nor there at the moment, what would be the advice for him? And on the upside, what's a good level for him to look out for?
I think he should stay invested in Tata Steel because I think looking at the prospects, what happened probably for Tata Steel a couple of years back, mid of 2013, where the stock almost broke that 200 level and the kind of recovery we saw. I think the larger move for Tata Steel seems to be getting much more stronger. I think the consolidation probably for the metal sector overall is what's hampering the move for Tata Steel because generally in the last 8 or 9 months of this market momentum, you've always seen stocks like Tata Steel and JSW Steel probably leading the rally, not lagging behind. So I think there is a phase which these metal stocks are going through. I believe that probably if the time horizon is more than a year or so, I think you could probably look at a target of at least 550 to 580 on Tata Steel.
Mitesh Rajani has called in from Gujarat. Hi Mitesh.
नमस्कार.
Hi, क्या सवाल है आपका?
मेरे पास अपोलो टायर है, 235 में परचेस किए हैं.
Okay.
100 शेयर है.
Okay.
और मैं शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए इन्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूँ. मैक्सिमम मैं 1 मंथ का वेट कर सकता हूँ.
ठीक है.
तो अभी मुझे होल्ड करना चाहिए या मैं सेल कर दूँ?
Okay. Kunal, what's the target that you see on Apollo Tyres for the next 1 month?
I think if you keep a stop loss of 220 on Apollo Tyres, I think you could probably look at a target of 240 to 243, which was the previous swing high for Apollo Tyres. I think that's the maximum potential, at least looking at the time frame which the investor has for Apollo Tyres.
All right, then that's the view coming in on Apollo Tyres. But I think we have a next caller that's already standing by. So Sunny Gupta calls us from Ludhiana, and he has investments in Reliance Capital. Hi, Sunny.
Hello, sir.
How can we help you?
सर, तो रिलायंस कैपिटल लिया मैंने 1000 पे.
ओके.
तो टारगेट है मेरा अपना, मैंने 480 पे लिया है. तो टारगेट क्या होगा इसका 1 ईयर का?
और सनी जी, आप लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर है, शॉर्ट टर्म इन्वेस्टर?
1 ईयर 2 ईयर वेट कर सकता हूँ सर.
सुपर. और कंग्रेचुलेशंस, आपका प्रॉफिट तो 24,000 है. अच्छा. All right, Funny, here's an investor. He's making some money on Reliance Capital. 24,000 is what he's making. He can wait for a year or 2 years. Will he get more?
He would, and he would get a lot more if insurance bill is finally passed in Parliament in this session. Reliance Capital derives a lot of value from its insurance business, life insurance that is. Along with that, mutual funds business, the securities business, add the loan business, which is very active in commercial vehicles, personal loans, SMEs, loan against properties. They are present across the entire spectrum. So it's a wonderful proxy to both turnaround in the economy, which will help their loan segment, and a turnaround in the securities markets, REIT equity markets, which has already happened. So since both the things are positive, add positive in the form of a possible passage of insurance bill, and you have very, very meaningful upsides. Difficult to quantify upsides, but rest assured that if he stays for 2 years, then he can look at at least a 50% appreciation even from these levels.